big issue is there was, 10 days when no one could really, with confidence, book a flight, know that they were traveling. And I saw that one of the low-cost airlines was actually suggesting you should book multiple flights just to cover your options. Yeah. Well, sensible advice. And I think if you did have enough disposable income and you could get a refundable ticket, you would probably do it, which then mucks up the cash flow for the airlines concerned, creates administration, etc. But it's an interesting set of data this year, because obviously Spirit are no longer the force they once were, and yet capacity is slightly up on last year's Thanksgiving week, because the other ultra low-cost airlines are getting more and more competitive. So in theory, that should mean some cheaper fares in the market, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of tricky in the US market, isn't it? Because you've got 3-4 airlines with a very big share of the market, very dominant, and everyone else is fighting for what's left of the pie, aren't they? And fundamentally, what opportunity is there for growth other than to manipulate pricing? And that's what happens in a mature market, isn't it?
They literally are fighting for the crumbs on the Thanksgiving table, aren't they? But then again, there's some big growth. You look at someone like Breeze, who are really in a growth phase of their development, adding new routes from secondary airports, and I think that points to the direction of travel for them.
That's the space to play, isn't it? There's definitely still opportunity in those markets. If there's a price differential, and it's a little more expensive to fly from your local airport direct to somewhere than it is to do battle in a major hub where there's all sorts of complexity and maybe more perceived risk now of delay or cancellation, then it'll be interesting to see how consumers deal with that, because there is a premium on time.
There is, and it's, I think it's interesting because remember the FAA mandated United Airlines to reduce frequencies at Newark by 10%, and Scott Kirby, United's CEO, says that their dispatch reliability and operational integrity has improved considerably. So if he's got less seats, but he's got the same level of demand, you'd expect to be seeing higher fares and yields coming out of Newark for United at this moment in time. And that might be good for January and February when it's the low season.